We are the voice of the community. You're listening to WMPR
All right, everybody,
90.1
welcome
FM,
to our
Jackson,
show.
Mississippi, on the web at
We getting situated here. Turn your volume. We getting
90.1fm.com.
situated
The
here and getting ready
voice
for a
of the
very
community.
exciting show this evening. So y'all come on, get on in here. We're gonna start with who we always start with, the Temptations. We get ready. Come on, JSU. All right, look who we have joining us, the one and only Mrs. Brittany Bowman, back in the studio with us. And we're gonna be kicking off real soon here. Miss Mary Bradley, that's your song right there. Miss Bradley, love, get ready. Her and Pam. All right, y'all come on in here. We'll have a very exciting and interesting show.
5:59 minutes on the backside of 5 o'clock. Every Thursday comes in between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. The live representation to represent the favorite Nelson and your co-host, Mrs. Brenda. What time to go studio B?
Oh, hand to cutting up, y'all.
Representative favorite Nelson.
All right, good evening to District 66. Good evening to Hines County. Good evening to all of our listeners that are streaming from all over, from everywhere. Mississippi, good evening to everybody. And most importantly, good evening to you, Mrs. Brittany Bowman.
Good evening. How are you all doing?
It is so good to have you back joining us here again on the Reliable Representation Show. So
Glad to be here.
you've been in for three, this is your third time?
Three Thursdays.
Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
I see.
All right. So have you been enjoying visiting with us?
I have enjoyed visiting with you all.
All right. That is great. So what are we going to be talking about this evening? What do we have going on around town, Hines County, and the state? Hello, Miss Darlene. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Darlene Wilson. And so what do we have going on? I'm going to let you tell us what's going on.
Wow, we have a lot going on. Definitely want to extend our condolences to the Mobile family, the young man from Belhaven who they found today. So definitely want to send our condolences out to that family. Death is always hard and trying, but God is able through all of these difficult times that we're all facing.
Amen. And I always say life is a vapor. You know, you can be here talking fine 1 minute, and the next minute, you know, you're gone. So life is so precious. That's why we gotta forgive people, tell people that we love them, because there's nothing worse than somebody leaving here and you're not making peace with them, and because that's going to eat you up for a very long time. And so we love. Let's get back to loving each other. We have so much going on around our city, our state, and our country. So let's get back. Hey there, Jim. How you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. And so we just make sure. Let us just make sure that we're loving on each other, and that we're doing the right thing, or trying to do the right thing at least.
As best we can.
That's it. And so what's been going on in Jacktown, Miss Bowman?
Oh, Jackson has been hot lately, but we've had some great things going on in Jackson for the most part. I know last weekend you participated in some festivities. I think they were in Jackson or Hines County somewhere.
Yeah, you know what? I was all over the best district around, District 66.
Okay.
And so we started off Saturday with the Association of South Jackson Neighborhood Parade.
Okay.
And that was such a nice event. You know, a lot of the community came out to it. We had several bands there, several high school bands, middle school bands, and we even had the I Love, the Sonic Boom of the South.
1400 came way to South Jackson.
They came all the way over here for the parade. Had the Prince and Jay Sets with them, so it was a really good time. It was. I remember doing that parade last year, and it was good. Like it was like kind of full circle because I saw a lot of the same people I saw last year, and I got to see a lot of my constituents. And I didn't drive; I walked, and so I was walking and talking, to different residents about issues they have, things that we have going on at the Capitol. And so it was just nice to get out there in front of people, and everybody enjoyed it. It was a parade, and then it was a festival at what's the school that festival was at? Over at Cardoza. And so I didn't make it to the festival as I had to run to another engagement, which was the Democratic District 2 convention, which was in Vicksburg.
Okay.
And so just trying to be as involved in the Democratic Party as I can. As you know, we have some struggles here in Mississippi. Well, not only Mississippi, but nationwide with our party. And so we're going through some restructuring here in Mississippi as well as other states. But I just want to go be a part of that process, give input, and figure out how we move our party forward. And so things happen. The things that happened at this convention where we elected our delegates. So our national delegates. So these are the individuals that will be going to to Chicago, to the when we nominate Joe Biden to be, on the ticket as our Democratic candidate. And so it was really fun, taking part in that. I actually had my name on the list running for delegate. But I thought about it. I didn't even campaign for it because I thought about saying I want to give somebody else a chance to, go and be a part of that. You can't do it all.
Correct.
The great people of District 66 did a big one for me by putting me where I am. And so I want to be able to let somebody else go, maybe a younger person has never gone, somebody's trying to get into the political world, that'd be a good stepping stone for them. Because this time out, the same old people going here, we got to start really encouraging our young people to be a part of the process. And so we went over there. I am happy my boys campaigned for Alderman Terry Johnson.
Really?
Yeah, he was running for state committee and he won. And so they campaigned for him. He is a great guy, and we were just happy to get over there and show support for him as well as all the other people. And there were several members from our legislature that were there. So I was surprised at the turnout that we had. And so after that was Saturday afternoon. After that, we drove all the way back and we went to the magnificent city of Terry, Mississippi, where they were having I can't think of what the name of the event was, but it was an event at Terry Park. And so, snowballs, food vendors, other vendors, pop-up shops, and it's just like in the DJ. So it was just a fun day being out in the community. That's one thing since being in office. That's one thing that I really miss, which is going the way that I used to go, being out in the community with my people. Because it's, you're so confined and you're so busy having to go to the Capitol every day. And so now, since we're getting right to the tail end of it and it's warming up, I'm happy that we're getting out of session because I can get back out in my community, a lot now. And when I see people, I say, hey, look, I'm sorry. Look, I don't want y'all to think that I forgot about y'all. There's so many people run for office and they're going to be at your church every Sunday while they campaign, and they're going to be at all your community events, kissing babies. And after they're elected, you don't see them again. And so I'll tell everybody, I'm always apologize. I look, y'all, I haven't forgotten. And they say, you know what, you good. We know you're working hard for it. So that makes me feel good to know that they know I'm not just sitting up at the Capitol, not doing anything and just, coming out trying to solicit people for votes. But it's always good to go out and, and support our community and the people in our community.
Definitely, because they deserve it.
Yeah, that's it. What did you do this weekend?
This weekend, quite like you, I'm always busy. Had some community events and things that we're working on for church. So that was really the gist of my weekend. Saturday took up that time to prepare for Sunday. And again, the week is off and now we're up on another weekend. So getting ready for another fun-filled weekend. Being a mother always constitutes having some other things that are not on your radar, but that's called motherhood. That
is absolutely it. You are so right. And being a parent, it hits different, doesn't it?
It does. It definitely does.
It hits different. And thank you, Jim. So Jim Estrada said, just wanted to let you know that your freshman 2024 friends are proud of you. Take care. Thank you, Jim. Look, proud of y'all too. So Jim serves alongside me in the House of Representatives, and he tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, Jim. We almost made it through it. We got about a little while longer, but hang on in there. Because it gets like towards the end of session, it's like I can't speak for others. I don't know how others feel, but I'm drained. I don't know. Other people may not be drained, but I am drained. I am tired. When I tell you it takes an act of Congress to get things done, people always say that, before getting there, I would hear people say, oh, it's so hard to pass a bill. No, it ain't hard. Y'all just not really trying. It's hard. It is hard. I've been working on my bill 1137. I've been working on that bill since February, and we're almost to the finish line with it. But I was just looking at the time I've spent probably about 50 to 60 hours in working on this bill.
Wow.
So getting the language right, getting with the state agencies, because what happens is with our legislation, whenever we get these things and it's going to be affecting a state agency, we like to get their input because we don't want to put a law in place that's going to hinder them from what they're doing. And so my bill in particular, we have to talk to the health department because it's related to drugs, and we have to talk to Department of Mental Health. And we just want to make sure, hey, what do you think about this bill? And so it was very important, and also the Attorney General's office. So it was important to talk to these state agencies and say, hey, we want to work with you. We don't want to be here just making, passing laws that's going to affect you and you don't know anything about it. But it has been a lot of work that's gone into it. And every single thing that you think could go wrong has gone wrong. And at first I was getting upset, like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? But now I appreciate it that it's happening to me on my first bill, because when I do my next one, I'll know.
Correct.
And so this one had been easy, and then I go do another one, and then I start running into these roadblocks that would be completely different. But it's been fun. It's been a fun experience. I have some bills and things that didn't get passed. I was kind of disappointed about, but just got to dust yourself off and get back up. But I'm gonna tell you, January 3rd of next year, my bill's gonna be dropped again. So y'all hear there, committee chairman, all chairmen, my bills will be dropped again. We are not going away.
Of course, sir, they know.
Yeah, they know. But and I do want to give a shout out to all of our chairmen that serve as chairman in the House of Representatives. All of them are amazing.
That's great.
With our bills, they always have an open door. They'll talk to you about your bill, tell you what you need to do, with this. So it's been a fun experience, with that. And you have to understand, all bills are not going to become laws, because if you think about it, we have anywhere from probably this session, we had over 3,000 bills that were actually introduced. So can you imagine if all 3,000 of those bills became law?
Wow.
And so if each session we pass all these bills and turn them into laws, it'll be so restrictive you wouldn't be able to walk outside without breaking the law.
We don't want y'all to do that.
And so it's so important. This process was made when this process was developed. It was meant to be complicated. It wasn't meant to be easy, because if it's easy, then you have one person with all the power. So this is our checks and balance system, how we go through House, go through the Senate, go to governor, committee chairman, and all of that. And so it actually works out to our advantage. I mean, it's hindering because when we try to get stuff done, we have a hard time getting it done. But, it's all for the greater good. But I'm tired.
Vacation sounds like. So what do you have planned for after session?
After session, I'm still gonna be working. Our last day is May 5th. On that weekend, I think on that Wednesday, on that Wednesday. So May 5th is on, I don't know what day of the week. But a few days after we get out of session, I'm actually gonna be flying to Atlanta, Georgia to attend the conference for the Future Caucus.
Okay.
And so I'll be at the conference in Georgia for a few days. And what I like about Future Caucus is it's a nonpartisan group. So we have Republicans and we have Democrats and independents. Because what we have to do, and we're realizing this now, we have to work together to get things done. Mm-hmm. We can't sit on the aisle and say we're not going to deal, Democrats not going to deal with Republicans, not going to deal with independents. Because at the end of the day, we're there for the same reason, to represent our district, to represent our community. And it's okay to disagree with your colleagues. If it's a bill that's coming up and you don't think that it's in line with your district, you can't support it. And I've had several bills that my colleagues would introduce, and I didn't support those bills. And after they finish with it, I go say, hey, great bill. And so it's no hard feelings, and we can't have hard feelings and rolling your eyes at each other and all of that. The one bill, I tell you, I voted against it 3 times, the Inspire bill. Everybody should know that Inspire bill.
Yes.
So I voted against it because there's some things in it that I'm uncertain about. But when it came down to the author of the bill, we still, hey, we're good. And we've been talking through the process, and I really feel this bill is currently in conference. They're working on it in conference. I feel when it comes out of conference that it's going to be a good bill. Because what I will say, I was telling somebody this earlier, the Inspire bill has good intent, good intentions with the bill. I like the, a lot of things in it, but there's still some things that were concerning to me. And so in conference, hopefully they can clean that up and get us a good clean bill that we can pass and start giving some of these schools some money.
Great.
And so I went Monday, I went out to Terry High School and spoke to some students out there about politics, why it's important, to vote, talk to them, kind of a mini civics lesson about, make sure you get registered to vote. And what I found interesting is, and this is not just at Terry High School, but every school that, I go to, because I try to, make my way around. But when I start talking to our young people, they don't know anything about the process. They don't know what politicians do. And so we have to figure out a way where we start back talking about civics, getting our young people involved, getting our young people engaged. We're going to do this Summer UX, what we're going to do out of session. So we're going to do some voter registration drives this summer. We're going to try to get people registered to vote. What a lot of people don't know is if you are, you have to be 18 in order to register to vote. So, you can't register, I think it's maybe 30 days prior to an election.
Mhm.
So say, for instance, you're going to turn 18 before the election day, you can actually register at 17. And so a lot of people don't then be able to, go out and vote. And so we just got to really get out there and inform people, let them know what's going on. Our young people, let the young people know what's going on, why it is so important that we get out there and we elect people that are doing the job.
Definitely true.
And it's not just one person. In government, it's not just one person. So don't think that, this representative gonna save the day, this senator gonna save the day.
No.
It really starts on your municipal level. Your municipal and your county level is where all of the magic happens. Because believe it or not, there are a lot of things that we can't do as representatives. I mean, a lot of issues that I'm contacted about, we can't do anything about those. Ultimately, the only thing as representatives that we do is, make laws and deal with the budget. And so we can help like with projects by getting money appropriated to the county or to the city, but actually doing it, we don't have any control over that. Now we do have influence because we can reach out to the officials and say, hey, so-and-so, do they have to listen to us? No, they don't. And so I'm saying this to everybody that's out there listening, because we have elections coming up, municipal elections coming up next year. So please, when you go out and vote for people that's going to help me do my job better. And if we all, work together, things would get better, things would improve. So we got to make sure that we're electing good people to get out there and do the job. We have our presidential election, and that's something I want to talk about. So we have our presidential election coming up in November. Do you know what other offices are? Oh, hey there, Representative Faulkner. How you doing? This is Representative Faulkner. He's a great mentor. He teaches me a lot of different things and the process. So it's been great having him, as a mentor. But do you know what other offices are on the ballot with the presidential election?
It's our congressman, correct?
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
So congressman. Okay.
Who else? Listen, those are the two I know.
And so U.S. Senator.
Sure is. We do have U.S. Senator. That is correct.
But I'm gonna tell you another one that people don't realize. It's a local office on the ballot in November.
Spill the tea. Who's the local office?
Local office is going to be election commissioners. And so we have election commissioners. I want to say it's three of them, either 2 or 3 election commissioners on the ballot. And there's one that's very, very, very important. A lot of people don't know about is school board. So Hinds County School District, I think they have maybe 1 or 2 members because they stagger their terms, but we have people running for school board. And the thing is, this is so quiet. A lot of people don't know about it. So we got to start getting the word out there. Because school board, people don't realize how important the school board is. That is important, not only to our students, but to our communities, because communities with good schools are communities that thrive.
Correct.
When we look around at cities that are prospering and thriving, look at the schools. The schools are good schools. People want to move places, and I see this in selling real estate. A lot of times people will ask, well, what school district is that house in?
Mhm.
Because people want to come and buy a house and not have to pay extra money to send their children to private school. And so if you go to a district or somewhere that has a good school district, it's going to flourish economically. And so we got to make sure the school board and also election commissioners, that is important.
So let's go back. We have president, U.S. senator.
One U.S. senator.
Okay, one U.S. senator and congressman,
Uh-huh.
election commissioners, school
Uh-huh.
board.
And school board. Yep, those are the ones that are on the ballot. And so we
And the
can
school board is only for Hines County. This,
only for Hines County
Okay.
School District
not
as-
Jackson Public Schools.
and
Gotcha.
not with Jackson.
Because that's appointed by the mayor.
They appoint, so municipal, they appoint county. I think all over the state, I think it works like that. The municipal people appoint, the mayor appoint, and in the county, I think they're all elected by the citizens. But we got to go out there and make sure that we're voting for people that are going to do the right thing all across the board. And I'm surprised that it's been so quiet with the election commissioners and with school board, because it seemed like you would hear people campaigning and advertising, but there is one guy running for school board, Mr. George Stewart, and he has been campaigning. And so a lot of events I go to, I see him at those events. He's been to the Capitol a few times, and I'm gonna tell you, he's been on this Inspire bill like white on rice. And so every other day, he's reaching out to me, asking me. He's also my constituent, but he's reaching out to me, asking me questions about it. And to me, that's so important, because he's not in the position yet, but he's concerned about that, to figure out what's going on with it. If it's a bad bill, if it's not a good bill, if it's good policy, not good policy. So, I will say I'm very, very impressed, with him for being, so aggressive. He actually was up at the Capitol yesterday. He met with Representative McCarty, which is the author of the bill, because he had questions about it. So he went up there to, talk to him about the bill. Hey there, Miss Mary Briley, thank you for tuning in. All right, Mr. Timothy Brown, thank you for tuning in. I'm doing great, and thank you for checking on my family. They are doing great. Busy as ever, but we are all doing great. They're ready for me to get out of session because I can spend some more time with them. And so I'm ready to be able to spend some more time with my children as well. But we gotta, with these elections, it is, it's critical. We start on a local level because so we get to the national level. Our local elected officials have to move on up the ladder and get us where we need to be. Now, I'll tell you, there is something very, very big that's happening at the Capitol right now that has us all on pins and needles. And so we have appropriations.
Money.
It's money, 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 money. And so what happens is, towards the end of session, they get together, the appropriation committees and Ways and Means, they get together. We have to give them projects that we're interested in, for our district. And so we turn this project list in, and they look at the budget, see how much we have, and they decide who's going to get what. We don't know what we're getting until the last day of session. And so last day of session, they'll say, okay, Representative Nelson, you got everything on your list. I'm speaking to 2 weeks, so you get everything on your list. I'll be telling my constituents, look, we're winning, we got it. But so people running around trying to make sure that their appropriation requests are in. I had mine in a month ago, so 2 months ago, a month and a half, 2 months ago. So I got mine in early, but I'm really pushing, trying to get those things done. One of my top priorities with appropriations is getting funding for a new fire station. So what we have happening is, in part of my district, close to in the Terry area, they don't have fire protection out there, and they're seeing high insurance rates. And so what we're trying to do is, we have the fire trucks, we have the staff, we have everything we need, but we don't have a fire station. And so what we're doing is we're trying to get some money so we can get a fire station put out there so that we can have coverage, because it's a public safety issue first and foremost. And secondly, it's going to save people money. They may see up to 30 to 40% reduction in their homeowners insurance once that fire station is built. I'm gonna go ahead and claim it once it's built, because it's going to happen. We're going to get it done. But that's a project I'm excited about. I'm asking for some money for blight cleanup. So I'm asking $250,000 to get some blight removal across the district. So that's something. Those are two projects, and I'm very happy about. And I got a few more, hanging on out there. This week we had a road trip this week. So me, Representative Faulkner, Representative Hareem, Representative Summers. Am I missing anybody? Okay, was it all of us? So we actually went on a road
What
trip.
about the other young lady from Yazoo?
Oh, I can't forget about it. Representative
I like
Tamika
her.
James Jones. That's my lady. Oh, I'm sorry, Rep. I'm sorry. That's my lady. She represents my whole family up there in Yazoo City. But we all went up to Rusk College in Holly Springs. So we went to Rusk College. They were having a program in commemoration of Mrs. Ida B. Wells. And so they were talking about her legacy because she's actually she was born in Holly Springs. And so they had a panel and I was so impressed with what they're doing. Like I always talk about our young people on this panel. They had high schoolers that were on this panel. They had to do a research project on Ms. Wells, and they had them on the panel talking about what they learned. And I thought they were college students.
Mhm.
And so at the end, they're like, yeah, give a hand for our high school. I'm like, high schoolers? And so that is good that we're getting young people involved, that we're teaching them their history, their heritage. You let them know, hey, look, we've come a long way and we have so many, we're standing on the shoulders of so many. And so we got to go there. After that, we went to the city council meeting in Holly Springs and, got to see the mayor and the alderman, for Holly Springs. And it was important, very important for me to go to Marshall County because we recently just passed some legislation that ultimately is going to allow the Public Service Commission to possibly take over their power company if certain things happen. I was opposed to that bill, but it hit differently by us actually going up there and seeing the city, seeing the people that are happy, and seeing that, my vote was the right vote to say that we're not going to, we're going to go against that. And when we were leaving the city council meeting, a guy followed us out and he was talking about it. He was like, you know what? We don't want that. We don't want to take over the power company. And so, we had people that were talking about the bill saying their constituents wanted it, but we had a guy that firsthand said, hey, we didn't want it. So that made me feel better and being able to go there and actually talk to the people and know that, hey, some of us did right by, right by the people up there in Marshall County. But that was a fun trip. We got back home really, really late. We were supposed to get home at like 4:00. We made it back home at 9:30.
Wow.
So we went up there, and one of the alder ladies, I think they call them alder council. One of the alder ladies, should they have aldermen? One of the alder ladies took us to lunch. She said, "You can't come up here. We're gonna feed you when you come up here." So took us to the Mexican restaurant, and we had lunch. And then, well, y'all still here? Y'all need to come on to our city council. I like board alderman. I like, okay, we're like, okay, yeah, we will. We'll go on and to the meeting. But it was a fun time. It was great to visit Rusk College. Rusk College has so much history, and it's we got to go back to Rusk College. We met with the president. We talked to him for probably about 45 minutes. That's the different things that he's trying to do and his vision for Rusk College. And so, have you ever been to Rust?
I have not.
You got to go up there and check it out. I used to go up there all the time growing up, but I haven't been there in a while. But it was just so it's been a kind of a busy week. We don't really have much going on at the Capitol right now because we're doing we have a lot of bills that are in conference, and so we're not really doing much. We're letting people handle the bills that are in conference. I'm actually a conferee on 2 bills, and so we worked on one yesterday, and I got another bill we're going to be working on Tuesday, my 1137. So we're going to get it on out of conference and get it back to the floor, and get it voted on. And so that's pretty much a summary of my week and what's been going on. The whisper is that we possibly will be getting out of session a little early this year. So we have progressed pretty well. The biggest things right now, I think that we're working on is going to be, like I said, the appropriation request and the budget. So still working on finalizing the budget so that we can make sure our state agencies are funded for, for the next year. But all in all, it's been a really good time. It's been a good session. We got a lot of stuff done. Some people say we didn't, y'all, y'all, we didn't really do that much. I said, y'all, what do you mean we didn't do that much? For the first time ever, Medicaid expansion was actually presented and voted on in the state's history. Democrats, we've been talking about Medicaid expansion for a very long time. So this is the first time that we actually got support for both sides to move, and that was in the House and the Senate, two Medicaid expansion bills. So in that sense, we didn't do much, we did a lot. And we're working on this Medicaid. We're optimistic that we're going to be able to work the kinks out in conference. If we don't get it passed, we still have to give ourselves a pat on the back that we made it as far as we did. And we're going to keep working on it next year. So I'm hoping that we can get it done this year. But if not, we got to look at, to me, that's a huge victory in itself.
Celebrate.
It is, but we're going to celebrate even harder once we actually get Medicaid passed. There were like 2 or 3 press conferences yesterday about Medicaid expansion. Different groups came up and talked about it. We had a group of pastors, that came up and were in support of it and talking about why we need to really make it happen. So it's going to happen. So what's something you passionate about that's going on at the Capitol right now?
I'm just digging on education. Until that's fully funded, I can't move on any further. But it's going to take time. So I'm just letting you all, work at your own pace, but hopefully, prayerfully, within the next couple of years, that'll be not something that we'll have to further discuss.
It would be very good if we get something passed with education and we don't have to fight every year for fully funding it. And so it'd be good if we can pass something and it works every year. I'm okay with us having to go back and say, talking about it, so we need to add a little money. I'm okay with that. But we need something that's stable. Stability. We need some stability for our teachers, for our children. Just for our districts. And so I'm with you on that. We can't rest until we get a good plan in place that's actually working to benefit our kids. And we're not fighting about fully funding education, because every single year, that's a fight. Every single year, it's time. We need to move on from there. We got other issues in the state that we need to be addressing. So we need to get a good formula in place that works, that we don't have to fight over every single year about where the money's going and who's getting the money and who's not getting the money. So that's my dream, that we eventually get there with education. And it's going to happen. I really believe it's going to happen.
I am confident.
So do we have anything going on around the city this week?
No, we're gonna let the city take a break. I think everybody, we're just at a breaking point now. We're at headed toward the second quarter of the year. Yeah, I think it's time to break. I think everybody needs a woosah. School is ending. The session is ending for you all, and for educators, we're getting on to the wires. I think everybody needs a moment to just meditate, reset, refocus, and let's move into the second quarter of the year.
All right.
With a little better brain power.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. School getting out, session is getting out, and it's time for summer.
Yeah, so we're moving to the next quarter.
Vacation,
yes.
Nice weather, beaches, shorts.
Reset.
Reset, RESET. And so very, very happy about about where we where we're getting to, and the summer. That's my favorite season. It's between spring and summer. I like the early part of summer where it's like where it is now. This is we're getting into summer. I like this weather here. I can't deal with all that hot weather. When it get real, real hot, I can't, I just can't deal with it. You don't like summer?
Too hot. Too hot.
So you like winter?
Fall and winter, my favorite seasons.
Okay, fall and winter, favorite seasons. All right, well, you know what we're going to do tonight, y'all? We are going to wrap it up a little early. We're going to let Handyman take it away, but we're going to wrap it up a little early with you this week. We have a very, very exciting show next week. We are going to have Mr. George Stewart on our show. He is running for school board. He wants to come out and talk about, his campaign and talk about school board and why that's important. So, like I said, we're going to wrap it up this evening. We hope y'all have a great week. We got some bad weather moving in, so that's another part of the reason we're getting out of here early. But we got bad weather moving in, so please be safe. Don't be out there driving in it. Get somewhere and sit down. That's what I'm saying. Get somewhere and sit down. So
Be quiet while the Lord doing His work.
while you're doing this work, turn the TVs off, turn the lights off. You can't be talking.
Mhm.
And so y'all, please take heed to that. But we have a very exciting show coming up next week. Like I said, we're gonna get on out of here. And any lasting
You all
words?
be safe. Enjoy your weekend. Show love. Pray for everyone, you all, because everyone that you see is encountering something, whether they acknowledge it or not. And people are fighting different struggles. So let's pray for everyone. It's not a matter of we like them or not, but let's just pray for everyone. I know prayer would definitely help each of us.
Yeah, that is it. And I do want to end on one note. Mississippi Valley State, a former coach, it was Coach, got it right here, Coach Archie Cooley, passed away this morning. I think he was like maybe 85 or so.
Oh, wow.
So we want to definitely send condolences to his family. We want to send condolences to our Mississippi Valley State University family. Is that our HBCUs? Yeah, we're rivals, but you know what? We all love each other at the end of the day. We're on the same page. So it's a friendly rivalry. But we just want to ask that you please keep those families that we talked about in your prayers. And as Ms. Bowman said, let's love everybody.
Yeah, let's love. Let's pray and love.
Let's pray and love. All right, Handy, you can take us away. You can take us away. We good. Handy don't want us to go home, y'all. We kind of caught him off guard, so we in a little early today. And we're going to let him take it on the way. All right, Handy, get it together, y'all. We're gonna say it's a first 6:36. Listen, he's not feeling good, but
Every now and then you have to take a boost out. You have to add some time and just a reset so you prepare for next week since you have Mr. George coming out.
that's right. So we got to get prepared. Make sure you got some good questions.
That part.
So got to go home and do homework so we can bring in next week, George. I hope you're ready. I'm gonna put the glasses on next week. I put the glasses on. That means it's gonna go down. I'm standing on business with my glasses. All right, y'all. We're gonna get on out of here. We'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Reliable Representation. Take care.